I was actually hoping I could speedrun this before I actually had to start it up. I was setting up the virtual machine that I'm going to be testing this stuff on during the countdown, but yeah, it looks like we'll have to sit through the installation process during the live stream. Sorry, guys. Hey everyone, welcome to another live stream. I'm Koen, and today, as you could probably read from the title, we're going to test out Pop! OS. The latest version of Pop! OS, 2204, I think, was the latest one. I'm not sure if another version of Pop! OS came out recently. Let me actually check that out real quick before I go any further. I want to make sure that I have my facts right. Yeah, 2204 is still the latest version of Pop! OS. So yeah, we're gonna test that stuff out today. I have not messed around with it too much. I looked at some stuff regarding Pop! OS 2204 with the desktop that they are building. They are building a custom desktop for their OS, and yeah, it looks pretty interesting. I have not tested it out myself much. I messed around with it a little bit just to see what it's like. Not sure if I remember it. Not sure if I remember it. Not sure if I liked it or not, but there's only one way to find out. So we're just gonna jump straight into it, and we're gonna have some fun with it. So let's boot it up. I'm hoping that it's actually going to boot up. I don't quite remember if this ISO actually works correctly or not, but hey, we're about to find out in a moment, I guess. This is actually looking good. At least, I think, I hope. Yeah, alright. Yeah, this is pretty normal for any Debian-based distro, to be honest. Most, if not all, Debian-based distros open up with either this or their own logo as their boot screen. I personally prefer something a little more verbose. So, yeah, I kind of like that they are doing this with all of the text that flies by and everything. Only downside, though, is it tends to freeze after a while, and then it just goes to a black screen, and then it eventually will pop into the login screen. So, that's a little bit worrying. It's a little bit worrying, to say the least. Okay, mouse cursor. That's a good start. Gray screen. And there you are. So, I don't really have... install Pop! OS is not responding. That's a great start. That's exactly what you want to see if you're going to boot up from a live USB. This is what you want to see. Okay. So let's hope that that I'll at the very least be able to... Oh, good lord, just don't. Just don't, man. Yeah, let's just go with the default English. Clean install. Let's go with that. And come on, dude, stop. I just want to... Okay, maybe I'll have to restart that application. I don't know. Let's just restart it. Let's see if it works better now. Alright, so far so good. Alright. I'm gonna just use my usual password for a virtual machine. I don't really need to encrypt this. This is a virtual machine. I'm not very worried about data being lost or stolen or whatever. I would be much more worried if this was actually my main production machine, but this is a virtual machine, so I'm not going to be worried too much about it. Do I actually have a distro out here that I can show the default desktop environment? Because this is essentially based on GNOME, which should be obvious to a lot of GNOME users. But yeah, let's just install... Let's just open Arch for a moment. If that's even going to work at all. Yeah, there we go. Let's start up Arch. Hello, B Reviews. How's it going? It's nice to have you here. So yeah, we're just gonna boot into Arch Linux for a moment, and I want to show you the default look of GNOME for a moment. Why do I want to show that through Arch Linux? Because I do not feel like going on Google Images just to show what GNOME looks like. I want to give people a good feel for it. And what better way to do it than to just boot into the system itself? Grub is not loading. Okay, there we go. I was actually getting a little bit worried there that it wasn't going to load at all. But I think that this thing is just having a lot of trouble with some of the stuff that I have going on here. Maybe I should just also close some tabs on Brave browser, because I do have a few things open here. So just gonna close some things. It should free up a little bit of space with us. Yeah, so we'll just let this do its thing, and eventually this will be done, and then we can get into the actual Pop! OS desktop. Okay, this is taking an unusual amount of time just to start up. I don't know if something is severely wrong with this virtual machine, but... Ooh. Yeah, let's just try something out. Let me try to reboot this entire thing. Reset. There we go. It could be that this VM is just having a hard time because it's because I'm also streaming while I'm doing this, and I also have another virtual machine running in the background. Or maybe something weird was just going on with Arch there. Sometimes little things like that can happen, where Arch Linux just doesn't seem to want to work at all, and it's just being weird sometimes like that. So yeah. This is looking promising though. We at the very least have a blinking cursor now, which is more than what we had last time. We're getting further into the booting process, which is good. Daniel Mercier, welcome. Welcome to the stream, my dear. How are you doing? Are you having a good day? I know I am. Funny story. It was actually raining really hard a moment ago in the Netherlands. Like, yeah, everything was just being soaked. I'm just gonna boot into Plasma here, I guess, so that I can install GNOME, and then you can see what the default look of GNOME is. But yeah, it was raining really hard over here in the Netherlands, so I was like, hey, you know what would be fun? I'm gonna grab my bicycle. I'm just gonna go out for a good cycling session. So yeah, I was soaking wet because of the rain. Because I just wanted to have a little cycling session today. It was good. I was having an absolute blast doing that. That was so much fun. I'm enjoying my day so far. Enjoying my last day of summer. Nice. Have a good summer day, my dear. Alright, let's see what this, how this is going to work. Yeah, we can install pretty much everything. It doesn't really matter. The most important part about what I'm going to show you, or what I'm about to do, is that you get an idea of what the default look of GNOME is, so that we have something to compare it to. So that we have something to compare this to. Honestly, the default look of GNOME is not all that much different from from what Cosmic looks like. Cosmic is the default look of KDE Plasma, by the way. But the difference are ever so slight. And I would like to have something to compare it to for this live stream. So that's why I'm installing a completely different desktop environment in here. So that we can compare Cosmic to something else. I think that would be interesting to do. I should probably also update this after I'm done installing this. I don't know why I did that immediately after booting it up, but hey, doesn't matter. We can just get into it after this. So PopOS is done installing. Let's boot into it and have some fun. Enjoying my last day of summer. Yeah. Oh, good lord. I was actually really happy when it started raining today as hard as it did. Because the last few weeks in the Netherlands have been unbearably hot. It has been so incredibly hot over here. And what doesn't help is that I am literally unable to open my windows because they are just permanently closed. I can just show you guys. Yeah, it's almost impossible to see. But yeah, those windows, they are permanently closed. So, basically, opening them is literally impossible to do. So, I would have to either smash my windows open, or I would have to keep my doors open all the time, which is something that I am not comfortable with. Because I'm living in an apartment with my family, and I value my privacy, so to say. Oh yeah, look at that. That is just what I was expecting to see. Okay. So, I'm going to guess doing a paru-syu isn't going to do anything either. Oh, paru is not even installed on here. Oh yeah, that's right, because I haven't run my my script yet. But yeah, let's just run a regular pacman-syu, and I'm expecting this to fail miserably because I let this sit for a little while. And the thing is with Arch, if you're letting your system sit for a while, it's simply not going to update after anymore after that. So okay, yeah, this looks pretty normal. This is just regular old GDM for the login manager. Now, one thing that that immediately rubs me the wrong way is that it is impossible for me to boot into a different operating system or a different desktop environment. You normally have a little cog down here, which is normally hidden behind my face, I just realized. But yeah, there's supposed to be a button somewhere around here that allows you to switch in between desktop environments that you have installed. And that is just not an option here. So that right off the bat is a deal breaker for me, because I like to swap between my desktop environments every once in a while. So yeah, I'm a little upset that they decided to omit that entirely in here. Let's start off by fixing this resolution, because this is abominable. Yeah, let's just do that through terminal. I do not want to do that through that awful settings screen. Let's turn this up to full HD here. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. Thanks Ubuntu terminal for your awesome features. Alright. And now it's time to have some fun. So we have a welcome screen here. I would much rather just have no dock. I don't know about you, but I am not a fan of the dock in PopOS. And even... Actually, let's just keep it up there. Let's keep it up there. I'm fine with it being there. Yeah, I can just leave it like that. Alright, so I'm on a desktop, so I'm not going to be using any gestures in this. Time zone is Amsterdam, the Netherlands. So let's do that. Connect your online accounts. Okay. So I know what this is here. This is so that you can sync up your emails and whatnot with Gnome. So Gnome has their own a little they have a built-in email client that they use, and this is I'm assuming that this is here so that you can link your Google accounts with that email manager. It's called Gary in here. I don't know why, but it's called that. I personally prefer not to have that, just because for privacy reasons. Like I said, I value my privacy. Alright, so we have 2 workspace available right out of the box. Let's see what kind of stuff we can do with this. Do we have Gnome Tweaks in here? We do not. Okay. So I need to install that real quick. Actually, let's start by updating the system. That's always the first thing that you do whenever you're going to whenever you finished installing a Linux system or any operating system for that matter. Update it. Oh good lord. Yeah, I need to swap out my package manager. I know that there's a really good one available called Nala. I need to figure out how to install that, but look at this atrocity. I absolutely despise this package manager. It is awful. I hate it. So yeah, we're just gonna let that do its thing. And this is surprisingly doing relatively okay. This is updating at the very least. My guess is that I haven't updated my my system yet. Actually, I should have updated my system because I was able to install Firefox and Kitty on here, which do not come with the default desktop environment of that system. So yeah, this is updating pretty darn well. And this should be done in a little bit. And then we can finally install Gnome and everything will be fine and dandy. And then we can actually compare this and Pop! OS. So while this is going, I would like to tell you something about... oh, that's the wrong thing. I would like to tell you a little bit more about Gnome and Pop! OS and what Pop! OS developers, System 76, are doing with this. While I'm installing Gnome in the background. I'm not gonna show you guys that whole thing. I'm just gonna put it in here. And I'm gonna install it. So, System 76 has been busy with their own desktop environment that they like to call Cosmic. And that is pretty much what we're looking at right here. This right here is their Cosmic desktop environment. And a lot of people have been saying that this is very similar to GNOME, but with a lot of extensions installed on it. I don't know if that is actually true or not until I eventually give it a shot, because I have not tried this out much yet. So yeah, we'll have to test a lot of this stuff out and see how much of that is actually true. Now, one thing that I will say immediately, I have used GNOME a lot of times, and this looks very similar to stock GNOME. Like, you have your workspaces right here. This is normally put into one, by the way. You have your dock down here, and you have your workspaces right over here. Those are normally put into a single thing. So whenever I open my workspaces, the dock pops up, and I can open up any application from the dock from there. And it also has a nice little application grid that now also just looks like this, which is really nice. And, you know, there's all kinds of little things that they separated from the default GNOME look. And I am not a big fan of that, to be honest, and you will see why in a moment. Because the way it used to be is that everything was just in its one place. You had a menu called Activities, which was essentially this, but you had a dock on the bottom, you had your workspaces right here, and everything was just very easily accessible like that. You didn't need to worry about anything else. And they just completely seem to have omitted that. And I am just very confused as to why it's like that. Because to me anyway, that just kind of looks like you're adding a lot more Flutter, a lot more clutter to your desktop that really doesn't have to be there. Like, this desktop was already really clean as it was. It was already very user-friendly as it was. The GNOME desktop environment does not need to be simplified like that. And yet they just decided to overly simplify a desktop that does not need any further simplifying. This is going relatively fast when it comes to installing the GNOME desktop. I could actually just sit here and enjoy the show and reboot it after it's done, and then I'll get into the GNOME desktop on this, and we'll see how comparable these two actually are. I've actually looked at a couple of videos, and I've looked into a few things before I went into this desktop, before I went into Cosmic with Pop! OS, and it is very possible to mimic the exact desktop with just a couple of things that you can install on your system. In fact, I think Titus Tech already experimented a little bit with that in a couple of live streams of his. So, I don't know, man. Let's see, how far is this with its update? Yeah, I reckon that there were a lot of packages that needed to be updated in this. Which makes sense, this being a Ubuntu-based distro. Yeah, GNOME is installed. Let's reboot this. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? By the way, I have been busy with a lot of side projects in the, as of late, because some people really seem to enjoy me tinkering with some things. Some people seem to enjoy me playing some Minecraft every once in a while, and because so I have been trying to do a lot of things with that, and so what I've been doing is I've been busy with setting up a Minecraft server. I've been busy again with a lot of Linux stuff, and because somebody actually suggested this. Oh my good lord! Okay. I did not expect all of this to be popping up on there, but okay. So yeah, I have also been collecting a bunch of ROMs for a MAME emulator, because some people were interested in seeing me tinker with some arcade games on my system. So I will probably be doing doing a little bit with that in the future. I like the unicorn, welcome! Lurking in a bit as at work, but enjoying the Linux tinkering. Thank you very much. So, this is, awful. I need to fix this real quick. Where is my terminal? Do I even have terminal? I do have terminal. Excellent. What even is my resolution right now? This is awful. This is also horrible. Kitty is probably going to work better, I think. I hope. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Yeah, my guess is something is going severely wrong with this, because I also have, a completely different theme installed on a different desktop environment, and, my guess is that it's interfering with GNOME in this particular instance. So, I might as well... I'm doing great. I got a job at a hotel. That's very good to hear, my friend. I hope that job is doing well for you. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I might as well just reinstall Arch Linux entirely on here. Just so that I could, at the very least, have a proper GNOME desktop running on here. So, we're gonna do exactly that. We're gonna reinstall this entire desktop. And we're gonna mess around with GNOME on there. How's my, my playlist going, by the way? I kind of want to put on a different song than what I have right now. As you can see, I have a lot of songs on here that I like to play a lot of the time. So, yeah, let's just do a random one. Let's do this one, I guess. Yeah, that sounds cool, but, I don't know, man. Yeah, you know what? We're just gonna stick with it. Why not? Alright. Arch install. Give it a little minute to test connectivity with the Arch mirrors. I cannot speak properly. This is still going strong. Look at this. Nearly 300 packages. Guys. Come on, man. I mean, this is just what I was expecting, actually. This is exactly what I was expecting when I was getting into this. Like... I don't think that they have a net install available either for Pop! OS. Which I think is such a huge loss. Because if you have a system like this, where you have a lot of packages, because this uses a lot of packages to run. We will run a Neo fetch on Pop! OS in a minute, so we can actually check that out. But if you have a lot of packages installed, I figured, surely you want that to be a net install, so that you can have the latest and greatest packages available to you. Right? Or, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just weird, but I would think that you would at the very least want to have a good desktop for, or a net install for that, so that literally every package can be grabbed directly from the internet. Because that's the beauty of using something like a net install, that you can have all of the latest and greatest packages at your disposal right out of the box. No need to worry about anything else that you need to do to get them. That kind of stuff just boggles my mind on so many levels. But hey, what the hell do I know? Alright, let's install this. This is probably going to take a while because it needs to install a lot of packages, but yeah. We'll see, we'll see. This is doing its thing. Now it's actually getting to the part where it needs to install all of these packages. Which, to be fair, this is probably the fastest part of the entire process. This usually does not take nearly as long as fetching all of the packages from the repositories. It does still take a while, to be clear, but not too bad. Yeah, this is picking up all of the packages that it's going to need for the base system, and after this, I'm guessing it's going to grab all of the packages for GNOME. Don't quote me on that though, because I'm not entirely sure how all of that stuff works. I am not exactly an expert when it comes to Linux. I am glad that they that Pop! OS at the very least has Firefox included. Thanks a lot, System 76 for that. That is always appreciated. Web browsers in a desktop environment like this, you need a web browser when you're going to get into Linux. Little fun fact about some distributions that I've used, by the way. There's a distro that, let me actually just show you. I think I can show you guys, no problem. Let's open up a new tab here. There we go. And there's this distro called Deepin, which is basically just a distribution for the Deepin desktop environment. And the cool thing about this is that it is very much like macOS, but there is one slight problem with this. It comes with Google Chrome out of the box, and I'm like, why? Why would you ship your distro with Google Chrome out of the box? I don't know why. I'm legitimately puzzled about that. Oh, wait, what? Wait, hang on a sec. I need to test something out real quick. Oh my god, no. SuperKey nowadays opens up this lovely menu, which you can use to open up applications. So for example, if I wanted to open another terminal, I can just... Oh no. I'll show you guys why that's a problem to me in a second when Arch Linux is finished installing here. And that is going to take a while. Okay, I can tell you right now. So, SuperKey, or the Windows key on GNOME, usually would open up the activities view, which, again, is basically this, but with a lot more things going on with it. So, in this, they apparently figured it would be a very good idea to just have it be an application launcher, making this completely useless to me at this point. So why is the application grid even here to begin with? You might as well just not use it. Oh. That boggles my mind on so many levels. And yes, I am complaining about this because it is so incredibly different from what I'm used to and what it's and what it is in different desktop environments. I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, I've seen KDE Plasma, which just opens an application's launcher when you open the super key and everything. But that is to be expected from KDE Plasma. That is something that you would expect from a desktop environment like this. This is not what I would hope to see from a GNOME-based desktop environment. Ah, that's rough, dude. That's really rough. But yeah. Also, in case you're wondering why I'm not doing anything right now, it has to do with the fact that I am not comfortable with using my system while it's updating packages, because it is effectively updating your system. It is updating a lot of applications, and I don't know if you know this, but Linux can be really easy to break if you don't know what you're doing. And I know my way around Linux a little bit. I am aware, I am familiar with how the system works and, you know, what kind of stuff I should not be doing. But there are still some aspects to it that I'm not that familiar with. One of which being what is going to happen when you open an application while it is updating packages. So I am not going to open any other applications. I mean, I've opened a terminal, but I'm not all that worried about opening multiple terminals at once while my system is updating. But yeah, that is why I am not going to open any other applications besides this while it's updating its packages. So that's why I'm doing nothing on there. And also, I still need to wait for Arch Linux to eventually finish installing. So yeah, that's why pretty much nothing is happening in this live stream at the moment. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Oh, sorry about that. Alright, so that's installing some things. Alright, now we are getting to the actual desktop part of it, I think. Now we are getting to the actual desktop part of installing Arch Linux and the desktop and everything. I have not installed Arch Linux with any sort of desktop environment before using the Arch install script. So this is a little bit of an interesting experience for me. To be honest, this is really different from what I'm used to. But in cases like this, I think that this is going to be more than worth it, because I do not feel like going through the tedious process of having to install everything manually. Because I had to do that a couple times, and it was not fun. I actually tried to do that a few times using Arch Linux in a couple of streams way back when. But that was a while ago. That was quite a while ago. And I have not done a manual install of Arch Linux since then. The Arch install script is just so much easier, so much quicker, and I would much rather just use that than having to install Arch Linux manually by typing in a bunch of commands in the terminal or using the command line. Alright. Come on, man. You're so incredibly close. Just finish already. Those last few percentages. Ah, yeah, there we go. This is the actual desktop. Look at all of these packages that it needs to install. That's crazy. Oh, good lord. But yeah, I need to install Nala on here, honestly. Let me look something up real quick. I want to look something up. How to install Nala package manager Ubuntu. And we're just gonna open that up. And I'm gonna put that to the side here so that I can read the instructions on that while I'm busy with experimenting with this. Alright. So we have that open. And I'll show you guys what Nala is actually before, after I'm done installing this thing. Adding custom repositories. Oh, good lord. Okay, so there's actually a few things that I can do to install Nala on my system. None of these are very good. But, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with the recommended one. Let me actually show you guys. So, it is possible to do this by doing a couple of things. You can add custom repositories, install it using Pexstall, which I have no idea how that works. Or I can just use a Debian package. I think I'm gonna start by trying the Debian package, but I will have to first download that package from the internet, which should be easy enough to do. So I'm just gonna do that in a moment, and then I'm gonna try to install Nala using the Debian package. I have no idea if it's going to be quite as easy as that, but hey, we'll find out. I do not want to run a neofetch before I actually try that out. So let's open a web browser. Get to that website. I'm just gonna write it over here. I'm just gonna wait for the web browser to open. That's a first. Alright. trendoceans.com/Nala. Oh, Nala-package-manager. Hopefully I can just open the web browser web page as simple as this. There we go. Apologies for blinding you with this. I promise this won't take long. Alright. Install Nala package using Alright. So I have to install this. So I have to copy this line, throw that into there, and then install it using that. Is it really so simple? Nope. Yeah, figured as much. Alright, let's just do the recommended method. I do not feel like putzing around with the command line too much to do that. Yeah. First, I need to echo that. Alright. That should be good. Then we wget this entire thing. And open and throw that into there. Alright. Supposedly that did the thing. So let's see what happens when I run this then. I hope that worked. Okay. Okay, that's grabbing a lot of things. Is this updating the system again? I think it's updating the system again. Gosh darn it, I just got done with that. Unless this is just updating all of its repositories and I need to wait for it. Yeah, it's probably just updating all of the repositories, and it needs to grab the packages from the repositories that I just added in. Wait, what? What? Okay. No clue what just happened. But it looks as if it kind of froze on me there. Alright, let's see how far this is. Oh, this is just about done. Alright, that's good. That means that I can finally show you what the default GNOME looks like once it's installed. Good lord, this is taking literally forever. Alright. And now it should hopefully install Nala. It is going an awful lot faster than it did before, which is a good start. Actually, I don't know if that's actually a good start. I think it should be, at the very least. Please. Okay. And just because I'm not entirely sure if this is actually going to work without a reboot, let's reboot this. Okay, yeah, now this is creating my user and setting the password and everything. And after that, it should all be finished. Yes! Perfect! Reboot. And give me a good GNOME desktop. Don't give me any of that bullshit with Pop! OS where I cannot switch in between desktop environments, please. I would very much appreciate that. Alright, so Pop! OS is just giving me a black screen. That concerns me. Arch Linux is giving me a blinking cursor at the very least. Pop! OS is not giving me anything anymore. Alright. Let's just reset that thing. Pop GNU. Excellent. Alright. Okay, I can see a blinking cursor. Oh my goodness, stuff is actually happening. Alright. Now we are also in Arch Linux. So I can show you exactly what I mean by what I said a moment ago. So there's a little cog over here. Let me show you guys by turning off my webcam for a moment. So there's a little icon down here that I can use to swap in between different desktop environments whenever I want to. And in KDE, they just, in Pop! OS, they just completely removed that thing. Which is just completely bizarre to me. I have no idea why they decided to get rid of it. And once again, I get a black screen on Pop! OS. Are you kidding me? Come on, man! Why aren't you working? Like, seriously, I'm just trying to boot this thing up. Like, did I do something severely wrong to break my system like this? It makes no sense for this to suddenly break. Gray screen, black screen. I saw a mouse cursor for a moment there. And now I see nothing anymore. Okay, there's the mouse cursor again. Make up your mind! Make up your frickin' mind, dude. Ah, good lord. Okay. Let's boot this thing up. And we now also have Arch with terminal. Let's open that up. And, oh god, okay. That looks horrendous. I want to fix that up real quick. That is not available. Alright. Then I guess... Wait, what? Oh. Okay. I think I know what to do. This, is probably, I think that this is a issue caused by the display renderer or something. Maybe this is a Wayland issue. Yeah, there's two different kinds of things that you can use to render graphics on your screen, and I think that that resolution problem is caused by Wayland not functioning correctly. Yeah, because as you can see, now I suddenly have access to all of the other resolutions that I care about, like 1080p. So now I can just use that. Alright. God, I kind of miss this desktop environment. I really like Gnome. It is a really nice desktop environment that I love to use. And I really want to test to change this to dark theme. There we go. There we hecking go. Also, this wallpaper looks incredible to me. I really like it. Alright, so let's see what kind of... oh, wait, what? Why isn't my terminal in dark mode? Alright. I guess that needs to be fixed up. Let's see if I can even do that. Oh, no, wait, I can't do that unless I have a proper thing for that. I need to install Gnome Tweaks. Because the thing with Gnome, it doesn't come with a proper theming tool. So I need to install Gnome Tweaks, and it's in beta. I don't feel particularly good about that. Is it in utilities? It is. Alright. Yeah, I know. So, let's change some of this stuff. Yeah. Hang on. How do I turn on the shell again? Shell user theme extension. Oh, I need to enable that extension. Fair enough. Extensions are handled very bizarrely. Like, a lot of these extensions are run through here, but the vast majority of things that most people will probably want to use, you will have to enable through a web browser, which is just awful, in my opinion. I hate it. Let's go back to here, and now I can change this back to absolutely nothing at all. Okay. Okay, some of this stuff is just going to look really tacky then. Absolutely not. I refuse to stand this. I'm going to install a different terminal then. Screw you, terminal. If you are going to be a dick, I'm just gonna install an alternative. There we go. That's so much nicer to look at. And while I'm at it, let's also... Oh, God. Yeah, I need to fix some of this stuff when I'm done with all this. Let's make the font a little bigger so you can read it. I always like 18. And we're gonna do green on black. Why not? Okay, that font clearly does not work properly there. So, different font then? Let's do source code. That still does not look quite right. Yeah, I want this to look... I want this to look good. I don't want this to look tacky. Maybe Fire code would be a good thing, but eh. Alright. Maybe it's because it's a bold font or something. I don't know, man. Nope, that's clearly not the case there. What font did I use? I'm trying to remember what font I was using when I was using this myself, but I'm struggling to remember it. Maybe it also has something to do with the fact that the font is too big or something. I don't know, man. Or maybe this is just being really weird today. Nimbus Sans. Yeah, no, it's not going to work. Okay, you know what? Screw it. It doesn't matter. Let's just install NeoFetch on here and see what that is going to do. No. I won't stand for this. I refuse to accept the fact that I need to use this with such a tacky allow bold text. Let's turn that off. Let's see what happens. Oh, that looks a lot better. That looks so much better, actually. Alright. So this is our system right now. It's running Arch Linux. And on the other side, we have Pop! OS, which actually decides to work. And all of a sudden, it just goes completely gray again. Alright. That did not save my resolution good. Let's fix that up again. 1080p. There we go. And let's try Nala. Okay, that looks like it's installed. Now let's try to install some programs. So we're going to try and install Brave on here. Brave not found. Brave browser then? Nope, that does not work. Maybe I need to update my my Nala package manager so that it'll actually be able to grab it. No change, no change, no change, no change. Alright. Sudo Nala. Let's search Brave. Let's search it. Let's see what happens. So we got Gnome, Brave, icon theme, and then we got libraven. Excuse me, what? Is Brave even in the APT? No, it's not in here. Oh my goodness, are you serious? Oh yeah, that's right. Ah, alright. Let's try Steam then. Okay, yeah, that works. And that looks like a very similar layout to what Fedora uses. Alright. Let's see how this is going to look. Oh, good lord, guys. Okay, this I actually really like. Is this, can this also be substituted for Pac-Man on Arch? I want to give that a shot. I want to see if Nala can also be installed on here. Yeah, probably not. That's just not going to be a thing at all on Arch. But yeah, while I'm installing, let's explore Arch Linux a little bit more. So this is what a typical Arch desktop is going to look like. You get your activities view here with the workspaces. You get a very nice applications grid. And you get all of that wonderful stuff. You get a search bar up here. And you get all of these wonderful applications. I think that Pop! OS also has the ability to make use of Gnome Tweaks. I'm not entirely sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But what can definitely happen is that you have a very nice settings menu. I believe that they also use the exact same thing on Arch. Yeah, that looks very similar to the one that they are using in Pop! OS. And let's see if we can also install Gnome Tweaks on here. Yeah, we are very able to install Gnome Tweaks on here. So basically what you have here is a little utility. Oh, that's my web browser. That's not the thing that I was that I wanted to open. But Gnome Tweaks is a little tool that you can use to skin your GNOME desktop. And that is part of the reason why Arch Linux doesn't really show me the correct themes for a lot of my things, because Gnome Tweaks is not making me doing the things that I want to do with it. Because there are no custom GDK themes installed on here. There is a little search tab in here that you can access through the super key for some reason. And then there's the file explorer. I think that this is the exact same one that they are also using in GNOME. Let's give that a shot. Yeah, that's exactly the same. So this is the Nautilus file explorer, and I figured that if you are opening this up, you will get the exact same thing in here. Yep. So yeah, that should give you an idea of how similar these two are. Look, I am not trashing Pop! OS for having a similar desktop experience as stock GNOME or whatever, but at the very least, this does kind of look and feel like GNOME with a lot of extensions on top of it. There is one big difference though between this and standard GNOME, and that has to do with, let me just open up a bunch of things here. Let's open up Weather app, and let's also open a text editor, for example. So you have all of this stuff opened, and one cool thing that you can do is you can up here you have a little button, tile windows. You click that, and all of your applications are suddenly tiled. How freaking awesome is that? And I can put them all in a grid like these. It is very easy now to resize these tiles. So I can have it like that. I can have it like this. I can make it so that all of these tiles are going to close. The buttons are still available to me, so I can just push a single button and one window is closing. And everything will just adapt to the way that the tiles are working. And I could even turn down the gaps a little bit. So let's, for example, say I don't like my gaps. I can just do that, or I can just resize this. And I think that it should also be possible to turn off the gaps in between the windows. There's also an active window hint that I really like. Although you don't really need it because the cross button also shows that a little bit, so that's good. Window titles. Can I just close that? Alright, let's see what happens when I reopen this up then. It still shows the window titles. Yeah. So that does not exactly work the way that it's intended, I reckon. So yeah, they are trying to bring functionality of a tiling window manager to a desktop environment. That's pretty much what this is. Let's also check out some of the wallpapers that they have on here, by the way. Actually, let's just keep the tiling on. I really like that. Oh gosh, that is one awesome wallpaper. Let me switch to a different workspace on here real quick. Let me switch to a different workspace. I absolutely adore that. You know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of that, I don't really remember what that was, but there was an application on the Nintendo DSi that allowed you to make drawings and that you can make animations with. That's what this reminds me of. This really nice looking style. I love it. But since this is the Cosmic desktop, let's just stick with the Cosmic wallpaper. I think this is a really nice looking wallpaper. A lot of desktop environments do a really good job with their wallpapers, and this is definitely no exception. Although, I always like to use Variety. So let's just install that for a moment. Oh yeah, right, hang on. Whoops, I need to do that. So this is going to install a lot of other stuff. Should be done in a minute. Yeah, there we go. And now what I can do is I can go to a different workspace, open up Variety right there, and this is a really cool application that switches around your wallpaper automatically for you. I mean, I personally really like this. I absolutely love this this program. Variety is over here now. Let's turn that off. Let's change that. I do not like any wallpapers from Earth View, so I'm just gonna turn that off. And the rest of it, I also don't really like Flickr, to be honest. Although, yeah, let's just keep Flickr on, why not? And I also really like the picture of the day for NASA. So I'm just gonna turn that on. And now let's see, how can I change the wallpaper on Variety? Oh, oops. Set a default browser, sure. Alright. There we go. That doesn't do anything. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think that this wallpaper is actually overriding the wallpaper that I set from Variety. That is such a shame. Come on, man. Why would you do that? Why would you ever want to do something like that? That's the thing that always puzzles me about a lot of these desktop environments. Like, why would you want to get rid of the option to, at the very least, do whatever you want with a system like this? Oh, I again forgot to put in install there. There is something that I would like to get on here, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I am not a big fan of this terminal. Oh, Git is already on here. Great. So then I can just get the config files from here. Slash Fedora Titus. I'm just gonna do. And. Alright. CD Fedora Titus. ls-al. cd.config. ls-al. And I am going to take. Kitty, ls-al, and I am going to copy star to home/.config/kitty. Oh, Kitty is not a directory. Are you serious? New window. cd.config. It is not a directory. I need to make that a directory then. Alright. Oh, yeah. -r. There we go. Now let's do a cd kitty and do that. Beautiful. And now when I open up my preferred terminal of choice, which is Kitty. I'm also going to put that into my favorites for good measure. It should look like that. Perfect! And now I can also do a neofetch. So for those of you wondering why I use this terminal, I just really like the aesthetics of this. I always liked the aesthetics of this package manager. Of this terminal, sorry. Package manager. Alright. So, we are using Pop! OS 2204 with over 2,000 packages installed. Of course we do. And we are running on nearly 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. Which, in fairness, is not that bad, all things considered. But it's certainly not great. It's not exactly great performance. System76, you probably want to change something around with your desktop environment and things like that. Because it is still showing up as GNOME 42.2. And your window manager is still Mutter. You probably want to change that around a little bit sometimes, you guys. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. I am not exactly impressed by this. I know that a lot of people swear by Pop! OS, and I can see why. I can see why it's so beloved by so many people, but when I'm using something like this, like with the window tiling and with these workspaces and with the application grid that they are using, and a lot of it, I just kind of want to go back to my window managers again. gotta be honest with you, I am not a fan of the way that this looks and feels, and it is exactly what I was expecting when I was getting into this. It's basically GNOME with a bunch of extensions and a bunch of customizations done to it. And I'm not a fan of it. I am not a fan of the way that this feels, and it's not something that I will likely go out my way to use whenever I feel like going to a different Linux distribution. I would much rather just use something like Debian or something that just makes the desktop experience a lot more fun to me. This just doesn't do it for me, unfortunately. But yeah, that was about it for today's live stream. It's a little shorter than my usual live streams, but this was just a little this was just me exploring Pop! OS, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a lot more than just another GNOME port and or a GNOME fork, like we've seen a couple of times before, and that things are going to look up for Pop! OS in the future. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next live stream. This is Koen from PhoenixStarYT signing out. Take care, and as always, stay passionate.